Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Project Portsal. Now, I know in the last video I said I was gonna knock all the quadrants out of the build and start. We're gonna do building today. That's gonna be for next episode. Um, we're gonna knock all the quadrants out today because I think this is gonna be a very nerve-wracking process for me because I haven't built in this particular style in a while. So, yeah. Very used to building hidey holes, little areas underground that can be easily customizable. But like this, let me show you what I'm talking about. For those who are new here, I am working based off Tunisian architecture, or at least drawing some inspiration from it. It's not exactly easy, and the fact that I'm unfamiliar with both Tunisian culture and their architecture doesn't help it. So I am going to be doing a bit more background research after I build it, or at least excavate this part before I go into the decorations portion. I know this isn't a sand and limestone, like sort of sand desert, which is another thing. I'm basing the build itself off Tunisian architecture. The reason I chose this instead of going into a desert and doing all this in a desert is entirely because, well, A, I'm lazy, and B, too much sand. Too much sand to deal with, and um, I think the Badlands is the closest thing I have to this because it's a lot more shrubland, desert from the looks of the reference image. Um, and I'm basing this off of real building, but I'd have no clue where it is. Anyways, let's resume where we were left off. So where I left off was well, first off, as you can see, I've hollowed out the bottom portion, so I've gotten that much done. Optionally, what I could have done is hollowed out the inside of this and just knocked out the roof, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to work from the top down. I know this is very inefficient, but to me, it's the most efficient method I could have thought of. And I know there are more efficient ways to do this, but I have to be very careful with what I'm doing right now because I could easily knock out a portion of the wall. Now that may not seem like a big deal. It's going to drastically slow down the building process once we begin because I'm going to have to fill in that wall if I screw up here. So, um, and this is just the first quadrant that I've knocked out, and I've gotten some good progress chipping away at it. Um, I'm not using World Edit or any other editor tool with this map making currently, but I don't quite think I need them just yet, at least not with the plans that I have currently. I'm working on more small to medium builds right now, um, and I don't think I'll need the help with them, although I have looked into using World Edit, especially since it would help with these builds, but the only issue with that is I'd have to use a modded client, and the Minecraft skins, when you go offline, Minecraft skins don't tend to persist between saves. So I'd be kind of stuck in that one save and I wouldn't be able to do anything else. Um, yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to go into the reasons why, but yeah, that's just like as you can see, we are almost done here with this first quadrant, which is first quarter of the with this first fourth of the circle. What we will be doing next is the second fourth of the circle, and from there till we have an empty pit from which to work with. Um, Honestly, this is very simple. I'm making it a little bit more complex than it has to be, but that's just a me problem. Haha, laugh at it if you laugh at me all you want. This is just what you get. I don't cut corners. I don't like cutting corners here. At least not with my map. Speaking of which, I have to talk about the next updates. So, when will the next update be released? Probably around Christmas. I have no clue really when it's going to be released, but I'm gonna have included a lot of updated features, some expansions to existing features, and then some entirely new implementations. I have added a Jungle Edge outpost. That's not a quest yet, but I have that location in my on my sheet that I use to track all the quests, and because it's not just a sheet for tracking quests, it's also tracking quest locations and possible quest locations. This area obviously isn't on the list yet because I haven't finished it. However, once it's finished and once I've finalized mostly things and I've come back to it and worked on it a little bit more, yeah, then I'll have everything like worked out. Now, obviously, you could build this easily in survival. I'm doing all this in creative because it's faster, and I'm on kind of a time crunch here when doing so. So creative just frees me up for other things, so I'm not spending the entire day working on this because that I don't want this something. This isn't something to take up my entire life. This is just something to be fun and a hobby project. Uh, so yeah, this is just a hobby project in the long run, and at the end of the day, there are features I will and there are features I won't implement into the map. I'm trying to limit the amount of redstone I do. I have some planned things, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to those. I'm largely working with what I have right now at my disposal, and that is vanilla features. And you know what? I am perfectly happy with working with them. I think there could be some improvements, yes, but for what it's worth, I have the basic rough tools for what I need to get the job done, and I can do all the fine polishing up later. Now, I know what you may be thinking, why all this commentary? Why, now? Why not? I just get to do something with my life that I have more control over than most people think. YouTube gives me a lot of freedom to create and expand and experiment with ideas. And I'm not saying that I'm using people as my experiments as my test subjects. No, but I am throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. And this is just one of the series. Why this series doesn't get much attention. It's still in the long run a Minecraft series and may blow up one day, and I don't know. Obviously, this is just this is just something that I like to do in my free time, and I just enjoy doing this. So, as you can see, we almost have half of it done. So we have this little bit left here, and then we have these two corners here. Next, what I'm going to be doing is putting the staircase. Now, I don't know how big this staircase is going to be, but I am going to have to make sure that it can work with villager AI, because villager AI, as everyone knows, it's pretty stupid. So it can get stuck on stairs, it can get stuck on pretty much anything, even like blocks. I've seen in my extensive usage of villagers in my builds, I think for most of the NPC roles, I use villagers, um, because it's just they're cheap. You can spawn them in. They're cheap and easy to use. They're basically NPCs already, um, and they can fit the roles easily with their like jobs and whatnot. So um, I'm already thinking of packing a library into the wall here. And this is going to be a village, so we're going to have major structures sort of be on these flat faces here, and minor structures be along the edge, except for here where this is going to um, be a diagonal staircase of sorts. I'm going to have to figure that whole thing out on camera in the third part of the episode, and the third part of this mini series. But yeah. Anyways, I have more of this to chip away at, and looks like once I get most of this out of the way, things will be a little bit better. Um, there we go. That's that quadrant now. What I'm thinking here is, first off, I'm gonna do a backup once I get all this out, so I can play around with some ideas. And this won't affect the main version. However, I won't be working on the main version of the map until I've gotten, um, oh Lord, we did not dig out this. I knew I was forgetting something. Oh well, can't always be perfect. Would be easier if I'd done this before, but well, that kind of came back to bite me in the butt. Um, anyways, let's work on. At this point, we can afford to be a little bit sloppy now that we have the basic understanding that we have that out of range. But as long as we get it done, I guess. I still I know digging out a pit, not the most adventurous thing, but it's for a reason, and a very specific reason, because I want to turn this little very, very almost strategic location here. Like, it has this massive freaking wall here, and yeah. Although I may move the placement of this depending on if that's going to actually affect the structure or not. Yeah, that's gonna break some things, but whatever. We have 3 more of those areas to work with, anyways. And villagers can't go up ladders, sadly. I mean, they can technically, but it's very buggy, and the chances that they do is very slim, and it's only on under certain conditions that they actually use ladders. 1 second. All right, I'm back. As you can see, I've decided to chip away at this a little bit. I was dealing with a situation. Yeah. Anyways, so basically, for anyone wondering, I kind of lost track of what I was going on, honestly. But let's start a different conversation. So the design process for this will be: we're gonna definitely do the staircase idea. I don't know if I want to have it going in as in a staircase that's going just directly in from here, like here, going down all the way in to like here and then having stairs running up. Or if I want to do something fancier like a spiral staircase from the side, like I discussed earlier. Um, what I can say is next we're going to begin building in the next, this is going to be probably a 4 to 5 part series of episodes, back to back, most likely, but I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Um, yeah. So this is like, yeah. Anyways, well, with that out of the way, and while we're starting to chip away at this little block, you know what? I'm gonna have this episode run a little over. I want to get this out of the way before I start building. I don't want to have this be a 4 or 5 part series. I want to have this be a 3-part series. And you know what? The beauty of being a YouTuber is I can decide whether or not I want to break things up into a single episode, into multiple episodes, or just have it be in a single episode. And I think I'm going to have this be in multiple episodes. So stay tuned for that. And for right now, as it stands, we are going to be working at chipping away this quadrant right here. This last, well, not quadrant, but this last quarter of the, basically, yeah, this last quarter, it's almost done. And I think after this has been removed, we can finally begin working on the interior. I'm going to be refacing all of this with just terracotta, because it's kind of, I know it's kind of bland. It's a bland texture, but there's not much to Tunisian architecture other than the actual design of it. Like, it's using solid colors. It's not using very many multiple. It's not using like multiple colors, and that's built out of the limited resources of a desert. There's not all these colorful blocks in a desert um, that you can grab and use. So I'm going to use what they have, and in this case, it's going to be just terracotta. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to resurface all of this up over here. Um, as well, but that's going to be probably using a different tool or something. I'm probably going to do this or forget to do this, but I'm probably, if I do this, I'm probably going to do it off camera because I think that's going to be very boring doing that work. So, yeah. We all like instant gratification, but sometimes the best things are the best things that are planned out. Um, we're almost there. We almost have this little bit left, and then we're gonna go. Actually, you know what? Thinking about it, I am gonna start off the building here and then continue it in the next episode. Um, I don't know. I have a lot planned though, and I hope my ambitions aren't too lofty because I have a habit of misjudging my ambitions and end up having to cut back on what I promised, but I don't want to have to do that here. Of course, this is like 4,000 blocks away from the main island and from the island, so like you're only going to go out here for a quest or two and then you're never going to visit it again. Um so I have to make sure that it's built well enough that the villagers survive long enough for you to visit them and not any longer. Do it well enough that you can get the job done and then kind of forget about it in the background until like another random quest comes up where you have to get something from here or somewhere else. I'm probably gonna have to do some like merchant quests or something where you're basically acting as a merchant and getting goods to and from the island from ridiculous distances. Anyways, we have this massive hole now dug out. And now comes the fun part. Now I know I'm working from an image where this is supposed to be a single family home by the looks of it. But and there's some other things here. There's like interesting raised architecture with doors and like it's very communal. But what I'm interested is in this image that I have. I know I can't. I don't have it up on screen right now. If I do remember to put it up, I will. Um, but the way I have everything right now is, oh wow, you can even see what they're eating in this photo. My gosh, this is detailed. The architecture though, I'm more interested. Um, it's very carved out esque. It's carved out of the desert sands floor and whatnot. Um, anyways, let me back up the save now. I'll be right back, and I'll then. You know what? I'm gonna do this off camera. Thank you for watching me carve out this massive pit for the little settlement that I have planned. This is a very I just the reason I decided this is a strategic area is look around. Trees on one side, lumber, and desert all around. Now you may be thinking, what is this random place in the desert for? I'll explain that in the next video. Anyways, thank you for watching and have a good one. If you enjoyed watching this video and you want me to continue making this, then please do subscribe. Regardless, I will have put out a 3-part series by then. Anyways, thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.